Good evening. So the question for now is what makes your topic to adjust? Say, for example, we have this title or topic. The interesting in your part is the academic performance of your high school students utilizing the SLM. And we have also the comparison of two interventions or access of learning, which is SLM with LAS and SLM without LAS. But this topic are not yet final. Why? Because there are a lot of um, things to consider. Why is it that is not the final one? So the first is interesting. The second is specific. That is IS. And the third is the measurability. Measurability. So this is where how to measure, how to gauge or measure the result, the response. Okay. So say for example, your title is about this one, the academic performance of senior high school students utilizing the SLM in Malone National High School. And say for example, that was the first SEM, that was first SEM, meron tayong SLM. Then, part ng first SEM sa first quarter is SLM. Then, pagka second SEM, meron tayong SLM with LAS. So that means there is a change between the SLM and LAS. And if you will gather the data on this, kung napapansin niyo yung SLM na ginagamit ng mga students ay SLM lang, tapos after that, naglalas. So, kung kukunin natin yung SLM na measurability, so SLM lang ba yung, for example, the academic performance? Kasi ang academic performance ay maraming pamamaraan paano siya i-measure. So, ang possible natin na uh, way of measuring the academic performance is the grade performance. So, the grade of the students in the first quarter. First quarter. But remember, there are a lot of factors to consider. Bakit yung grade is affected? So, affected siya in the sense that it is affected by sudden change. That means meron pa tayong tinatawag na adjustment ng teacher at saka ng student. At the same time, meron tayong tinatawag na consideration to consider all the possible. So for example, ang student ganito, hindi siya makasagot. So, kinoconsider. At the same time, meron tayong answer sheet or answer key doon. So, kung meron siyang answer key doon sa likod ng SLM, that means kinukopya lang nila, possibly, then merong story behind the numbers. So, there are stories behind the numbers. So, that's why mag-a-adjust tayo ng ating topic. So, it's not yet final that when we say the academic performance of Charles School student utilizing the SLM naman, so, lungo na siya high school. So, it's not yet final. We have to look into ano ba yung mga considerations when we talk about to measure their response, the grade. Kasi kung ganon, kung grade lang, it is, meron tayong mga intervening factors. So, when I say intervening factors, intervening variables, yun yung nakakahadlang. So, nakakahadlang sa ating possible na grade. Or so, for example, kung grade ang academic performance, yung ating measurability. So, that's why solution for this is we'll do the series of grades. So, possible first quarter, second quarter, and so on. So, titingnan natin kung maganda ba talaga ang academic performance using the SLM or not. Kasi kung isa lang ang pagbabasihan natin there, then we are very prone to bias, or say the validity of our measurement is not that valid or that reliable. So we have to look into the adjustment of our topic. So how about this one? Academic performance of students utilizing SLM with LAS versus SLM without LAS. So kung titingnan natin, ang mangyayari dito, meron tayong group of students, group 1, na gumagamit ng SLM with LAS. Same with another group or section na may SLM but without LAS. Okay. So, ang question ko ngayon is, meron ba tayong students na gumagamit ng SLM with LAS and SLM without LAS? Therefore, this title is experimental in nature. That means, hindi mo siya makuha ngayon kasi tapos na. So, it means gagawa ka talaga na ang group 1 may self-learning module with LAS and then ito, group 2, SLM without LAS. Then, sabay-sabay silang studyhan kung kumusta ang kanilang mga scores, kumusta ang kanilang grade. Okay? How about the RBIs? For example, yung topic ninyo is all about the academic performance of senior high school students utilizing the RBI with LAS. Kasi ngayon, we are yung RBI with LAS. So, if you are interested about the academic performance of students utilizing RBI with LAS, so sa measurability tayo titingin. Paano ba ma-measure ang kanilang academic performance? Of course, grade din. Pangalawa, isituit natin na yung student na RBI with LAS is for that one. Ito lang talaga ang iyong ma-measure, and then you cannot prove something else. You cannot compare to the previous, so for example, compare mo yung RBI with LAS plus the SLM with LAS. Hindi na yun pwede. Bakit? Because they are on different times. So that means you have to consider also sa measurability the time it is conducted or the time na ginawa yun. So, and at the same time, yung mga factors that will affect the result. So, ano yung mga factors na maka-affect sa result? Is it constant? Kasi pag hindi constant, it means hindi talaga siya valid, hindi siya reliable na result. So, that's why sa ating measurability, dito makikita yung possible topic na i-adjust natin para maging maganda. So with this, ang ating possible na magandang topic lang na pumapasa sa ating standard at for the moment is yung academic performance of students utilizing the RBI with LAS kasi ito ay wala pa. So, yung SLM with LAS, pwede rin natin pero hindi siya pwede i-compare to SLM without LAS because tapos na po yun. And we don't know kung uh, pareho ba yung number of students utilizing. So for example, itong teacher na ito ay gumagamit ng SLM with LAS. Itong teacher na ito ay gumagamit ng SLM without LAS. And then, wala na silang control doon. Although kung may control man sila, hindi na nila matrace kasi tapos na po ang grading system. Okay. So, it means, dito tayo sa, ano ngayon, yung RBI with LAS. Pwede natin, yun yung magpasok sa ating measurability. At the same time, kung meron tayong data, example, pumipili talaga tayo na ito talaga ang topic natin, academic performance of senior high school student utilizing the SLM in Malona Siong High School. Therefore, yung grade lang na yung mean, yun lang talaga ang ating may interpret, no other interpretations except for that. And then for naman, the academic performance of student utilizing SLM with LAS, so medyo ito, titingnan natin kung sino ba talaga yun, saan sila ngayon, and then saan yung scores nila noon, and then we cannot we cannot say na ito kasi hindi mo na siya wala ka ng observations na makikita. Unlike yung hindi pa na-conduct or hindi pa nangyayari or hindi pa nakita yung scores, makikita mo maka-interview ka na, "Ay ito ba, ano ba, may nagturo ba sa inyo? Anong nangyayari ngayong araw? Sir, umulan po o ganito. So, affected yung ano namin sir, pagpasa po ng aming SLM and then na-minusan po kami sir." So, yun yung mga ano dapat i-consider natin. So, dapat careful tayo 'pag mag-conduct tayo ng research. Sa measurability, ito yung paano natin ma-measure consistently or carefully yung data. So, maraming salamat.